Imagine you are standing in a vast and silent desert. The sun is beating down on your neck with the weight of 1,000 hammers. Your throat is a dry valley of cracked earth. Suddenly, you see two fountains in the distance. One fountain is massive and made of pure gold. It pours out endless gallons of crystal clear water into a giant lake. The second fountain is small and made of rusted iron. It drips only a single drop of water every 10 seconds into a tiny cracked cup. There is no one else around. You have all the time in the world. Yet, your heart begins to race. Your breath becomes shallow. You find yourself sprinting past the golden lake. You ignore the infinite water. You throw yourself toward the rusted cup. You are desperate to catch that one single drop before it falls into the sand. Why did you do that? Why did your brain choose the dying drip over the eternal lake? The answer is a dark secret buried deep within your DNA.
A secret that corporations have spent billions of dollars to weaponize against you. You are not a rational being. You are a biological machine designed to panic at the sight of an empty shelf. Today, I will show you how your mind is being hacked. You are in control of your next purchase. You are dead wrong. The panic you felt in that desert has a name. It is called the scarcity. If something is hard to get, it must be valuable. This is not a modern thought. It is a ghost from your ancestors. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, resources were truly scarce. Food was a mystery. Clean water was a miracle. If a fruit tree was almost empty, you had to fight. This ancient survival switch is still inside your head.
Resources were truly scarce. Food was a mystery. Clean water was a miracle. If a fruit tree was almost empty,
you had to fight for the last berry or you would die. Your brain learned that abundance means safety. But scarcity means a battle for survival. This ancient survival switch is still inside your head.
It is sitting right behind your eyes, waiting for someone to flip it. And companies have become master electricians. They know exactly how to trigger your primitive survival instinct in a world where there is actually plenty of everything. Think about the last time you booked a hotel room online. You saw a bright red box. It said, "Only one room left at this price." Suddenly, your palms began to sweat. Your logical mind wanted to compare prices. Your logical mind wanted to read the reviews. But the red box screamed at you. It told your brain that if you do not click now, you will lose. You will be left out in the cold. This is the first layer of the trap, the illusion of quantity. They do not tell you that they have 50 other rooms just like it. They only show you the one that is vanishing. They are creating a ticking bomb in your mind. They are forcing you to stop thinking and start reacting. But wait, it gets much darker than a hotel room.
Knew that if diamonds were common, they were worthless. So they did something terrifyingly brilliant. They bought every single mine. You are not buying a stone.
This is perhaps the greatest psychological heist in human history. In the late 1800s,
massive diamond mines were discovered in South Africa. Suddenly, the market was flooded. Diamonds were everywhere.
They should have been as cheap as silver. But the corporations knew that if diamonds were common, they were worthless.
So they did something terrifyingly brilliant. They bought every single mine. They controlled the flow. They hid the diamonds in vaults. They created an artificial drought. Then,
they launched a campaign to tell you that a diamond is the only way to prove your love. They linked a common mineral to your deepest human emotions. They made it scarce on purpose.
They made you believe that a piece of carbon is worth 3 months of your salary. You are not buying a stone.
Your body enters a state of light, fight, or flight. You are no longer a consumer. You are a predator trying. It is the concept of social proof through exclusion. When an item is scarce, it becomes a signal of status. It tells the world that you are part of the elite.
It sees a door closing forever. This triggers a spike in cortisol, the stress hormone.
Your body enters a state of light, fight, or flight. You are no longer a consumer.
You are a predator trying to catch prey before it escapes. The logic of the price disappears.
The utility of the object vanishes.
All that remains is the desperate need to own it before it is gone.
But there is a second layer to this manipulation. It is the concept of social proof through exclusion.
When an item is scarce, it becomes a signal of status. It tells the world that you are part of the elite.
You are the one who got in before the door locked. This is why brands like Supreme or Rolex thrive. They are not selling you a watch or a shirt. They are selling you the feeling of being superior to the. They are using your need for social belonging to drain your bank account. Before we unveil the most sinister tactic used in the digital age, I must extend a hand of gratitude to our loyal followers. You are the elite group that chooses truth over comfort in a world of shadows. You are the ones who look beneath the surface. I want you to know that your presence here is the fuel for this mission. A simple comment that takes you only 5 seconds is the vital engine that keeps our algorithm alive and reaching others who are still asleep.
A simple comment that takes you only 5 seconds is the vital engine that keeps our algorithm alive and reaching others who are still asleep. When you hit the like button and ring the bell, you are not just supporting a channel. You are joining a circle of thinkers who refuse to be manipulated. Your engagement is the heartbeat of this community. Now, let us return to the cold reality of the digital trap that is being set for you at this very moment. In the digital world, scarcity has taken a new and more aggressive form. We live in an era of infinite copies. A digital file can be replicated 1 billion times for zero cost. Yet companies have found a way to make bits and bytes feel rare. They use countdown timers on websites that reset every time you refresh the page. They use flash sales that last only 60 minutes. They use virtual items in video games that are only available for 1 weekend. This is the exploitation of the FOMO effect, the fear of missing out. It is a psychological whip that keeps you moving. It keeps you clicking. It keeps you spending. Think about the phenomenon of the countdown clock.
Have you ever noticed how your heart rate increases when you see those seconds ticking down? 19, 18, 17. Your brain is hardwired to respond to the passage of time. A ticking clock is the sound of a closing opportunity. It bypasses the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning. It sends the signal straight to the amygdala, the center of emotion and fear. In that moment, you are not thinking about your rent. You are not thinking about your savings. You are only thinking about the zero. Companies know that if they can keep you in a state of urgency, they can keep you in a state of obedience. The research into this behavior is haunting. In one famous study from 1975, researchers put 2 identical jars of cookies in front of people. One jar had 10 cookies, the other jar had only 2. Even though the cookies were exactly the same, people consistently rated the cookies in the near-empty jar as more delicious and more valuable.
They even said they would pay more for them. The simple act of seeing a resource run low changed the physical perception of taste in their mouths. Your brain literally hallucinates quality when it perceives scarcity. You are not just being lied to by advertisement. Your own senses are lying to you because of the pressure of the void. This is the psychological mechanism behind Black Friday. It is a manufactured riot. Stores intentionally stock a very small number of doorbuster items. They want you to see the crowd. They want you to feel the elbows of your neighbors. They want you to see the empty pallets. This creates a feedback loop of panic. If everyone else is fighting for it, it must be worth fighting for. Logic dies in a crowd. In that environment, you will buy things you do not need, with money you do not have, just to feel the rush of winning a race that was rigged from the start. But how do we break free? How do we stop the primitive brain from taking the wheel?
The first step is to recognize the physical sensation of the trap. When you feel that sudden heat in your chest, when you feel the urge to click buy now before the timer hits 0, stop. Breathe. Realize that your amygdala has been hijacked. Ask yourself a simple question. If there were 10,000 of these available tomorrow, would I still want it? If the answer is no, then you are not buying a product. You are buying the relief from a manufactured anxiety. The masters of manipulation want you to stay in the desert. They want you to keep running toward the rusted cup while ignoring the lake. They want you to believe that everything is about to run out. They want you to live in a constant state of perceived poverty, even when you are surrounded by abundance.
They have turned your survival instincts into a profit margin. They have mapped the flaws in your mind and built a kingdom upon them. You are being hunted by algorithms that know your fears better than you do. They know when you are tired.
They know when you are lonely, and they know exactly when to show you that one last item in stock. As you move forward through the noise of the modern world, remember the lesson of the diamond and the cookie jar. Value is not found in the shadows of a closing door. True value is found in the clarity of your own choice. Do not let a red box or a ticking clock dictate the worth of your life or your labor. You are the architect of your own decisions. Unless, of course, you choose to remain a passenger in a vehicle driven by someone else's greed. The next time you see a countdown, remember that the only thing truly running out is your time. Spend it on the truth, not on the illusion of the last drop. The world is not as empty as they want you to believe. The scarcity you feel is a ghost designed to haunt your wallet. Everything you own is a lie born from the fear of being last. If you found value in this exposure of the psychological dark arts, subscribe and leave a comment to join the elite.
Your mind is the only resource that is truly finite. Protect it. Because in a world of manufactured hunger, the only way to win is to stop playing the game. Everything you think you need is just a trick of the light in a room designed to keep you in the dark. Always remember, you are holding a treasure that is actually worthless, yet you are ready to kill for it. Why? Imagine you are standing in a vast and silent desert.
It all begins and ends with the box. Imagine you are standing in a vast and silent desert.